Miguel Dorati back here at the iBot Vaults, and we're going to hit you with a UFC video blog here. We've got the UFC Fight Night 68 scheduled for June 6th, this Saturday, down in New Orleans, Louisiana. The main event on that is Dan Henderson and Tim Boetsch, middleweight fight. Obviously, the main event on this card was supposed to be Daniel Cormier taking on Ryan Bader. When Cormier got bumped into the title fight, and he's the champion now, but he got bumped into a title fight a couple of weeks back, and that left Henderson and Boetsch as the main event on this one. Boetsch is favored at -190 with Henderson at +165. It's a 5-rounder. The over-under's at 1.5, with the over at -145 and the under at +115. Both guys really need a win. Henderson's already at the end of his career. At this point, he's just hanging on, and he's going to take fights and paydays as long as they keep giving them to him. He's lost 5 of 6. Boetsch has lost 4 of his last 6, so talking about two guys that need a win. Boetsch supposedly, you know, may have a little more upside, may have a run left in him, maybe. I don't know. I'm not overly impressed with this as a main event. As we head through the rest of the card, there are some good fights on this card, especially on the main card. The co-main event now falls at heavyweight, and it's Matt Mitrione at -190 over Ben Rothwell, +165. The over-under is 1.5. with the over at +100 and the under at -130. I'm not sure that Rothwell isn't worth a look here. I think Rothwell's a lot bigger, has a lot more experience. He's younger than Mitrione. He's got a lot of advantages that way. He took out Alistair Overeem in his last fight. Mitrione's got no wins of that caliber on his record, and he's still, you know, about a dozen fights into his career here at 36. So I think Rothwell may warrant a look in this one. Heading into the lightweights, you got Yancy Medeiros at +160 fighting Dustin Poirier. Poirier -185, over under 1.5 with the over at -170 and the under at +140. Poirier fighting at home, fighting on short notice. He fought recently in April, got his first win at lightweight, moving up in weight class. Poirier looked good and got rid of some of the stigma he had over losing to Conor McGregor so fast. Here he's going to try to put together a second win in a row and get some momentum in the lightweight class. So keep your eye out on that fight. At featherweights, you've got Brian Ortega at +155 facing Thiago Tavares at -175. The over-under on that one's at 2.5 with the -145 on the over and the +115 on the under. And then you got a couple bantamweight bouts rounding everything out. You got Joe Soto returning after his loss in a title fight, a rare UFC debut in a title fight as he got moved in to replace Renan Barao at the last minute in his fight with TJ Dillashaw. Now he comes back favored at -170 over Anthony Burch, who's at +150. Over-under on this one's 2.5 again, and the over's at -155 and the under's at +125. And the last bantamweight bout there, Alex Caceres at -120 facing Francisco Rivera Jr., who's at +100. The over-under's at -180 with the over-under's at 1.5 rather, with the over at -180 and the under at +150. That's the main card. We'll do another blog to review the undercard. Decent card, not happy with the main event. The undercard does have some good stuff as well. Talk to you after the fights.